Hi guys, welcome to vlog number 5 in this series called Building Zamaya. This series is going to follow along the entire build of this project right up to the opening of Zamaya Fitness Resort to the public. In this episode, we'll see the villas section of Zamaya almost coming to completion, and we'll also see some really solid development in the progress of the fitness resort itself. We're also going to be doing a lot of traveling, firstly to Sacramento, California, to meet the owner of Balanced Body, who are the premium manufacturer and provider of Pilates equipment and reformers. From there, we head to Las Vegas to attend Mr. Olympia and meet the senior team from the world's top bodybuilding event. Then we head all the way to Guangzhou, China to go to Canton Fair, which is the world's biggest trade expo. We're going to be sourcing a lot of products for the build and operation of Zamaya there. And lastly, we travel to Bangkok, Thailand to train with one of the biggest legends in the history of Muay Thai and discuss holding seminars at Zamaya next year. So we're now in the very finishing stages of the build for phase 1 of Zamaya Villas. It's great to see them taking shape and to see the original design and renders come to life as the final pieces are being put in place. The resort build is really starting to power along now too. After almost 4 months, we're finally at the end of the very heavy and intense excavation work that had to be done, and we can finally start to see the layout of the resort and its different areas taking some shape. Aquí estamos en la parte de Zamaya Villas con Renan, el constructor de nuevo. Ya estamos en la parte final de la construcción de las vías. Ya pudimos ver todo el avance, como todo el chocón en los muros. La cancelería ya está instalada. Renan, ¿nos puedes explicar un poco del progreso de los próximos 3 meses?
Claro, como pueden ver, ya las villas están a una nada de acabarse. Estamos a punto de hacer las pruebas operativas finales de energía eléctrica, iluminación de cada una de las unidades para empezar a la entrega a los clientes en este tiempo que viene. Dave, como platicamos en el blog anterior, estábamos en las pruebas de la pasta, del chupum. Estos son los acabados finales, el color verde que se eligió en el proyecto, el chupum. Ahora la etapa que sigue ya es la colocación de las puertas, muebles sanitarios y terminar la cocina para su pronta entrega.
Renan, aquí estamos en la habitación principal. Ya está tomando su forma final, como se puede ver en el render, ¿no? Se ve lindo. ¿Cómo va el avance con esta parte?
Perfecto, aquí ya estamos en la recámara principal, como bien dices, Dave. Aquí ya se puede apreciar el acabado final de los plafones de madera, que son como los renders. Esta es la doble altura de la recámara principal, mucha amplitud y sobre todo mucha iluminación natural. En estos puntos irán instalados los closets y esta es la entrada al baño de la recámara principal.
Renan, ¿qué queda entonces para terminar las vías en los próximos 3 meses?
Claro, Dave. Ya estamos casi a punto de acabar. Por el momento nos falta hacer la colocación de los accesorios eléctricos, nos hace falta la colocación de los muebles sanitarios para empezar las pruebas operativas y hacer las entregas correspondientes de las unidades.
Les presento a Fernando, que es el constructor de toda la parte del resort en Zamaya. Fer, explícanos un poco de tu experiencia aquí en Tulum con la construcción.
Hola Dave, nosotros somos Crear IC, llevamos 11 años construyendo aquí en Tulum. Hemos hecho desde hoteles boutique, hemos hecho casas en la playa, hemos hecho varios condominios, hemos trabajado con muchos arquitectos que se preocupan mucho por el detalle. Entonces proyectos como este, creo que nuestra experiencia va a ayudar muchísimo a poder lograr el reto de este proyecto con tanta arquitectura, ¿no?
Bueno, Fer, después de casi 4 meses ahora de toda esta excavación muy pesada, ya pudimos ver por fin el avance y el orden de las áreas distintas del resort, ¿no? ¿Nos puedes explicar un poco el orden de construcción y cómo vas a hacer todo el plan del resort?
Claro, Dave. Con la idea de ser más eficientes, lo que vamos a hacer es empezar por el área que tiene mayor densidad, que es el área del hotel. Ahí tenemos 3 niveles Después nos seguimos con el área del spa que está a un lado, la alberca central y así venimos avanzando hacia el lado del main pavilion para ir saliendo de la construcción y poder entregarlo antes posible.
Fer, ¿cuáles son los principales retos en una construcción así tan complicada y con una geometría tan difícil?
La verdad es que es una arquitectura muy especial, todas las figuras que tiene y todo es muy interesante. Es un privilegio para nosotros poder participar en proyectos así que no tenemos todos los días. Va a ser complicado de repente el trazo, ver las curvas, no es tan fácil como trazar los muros rectos, algunas figuras que son irregulares. También tenemos una construcción de bambú que tenemos que entrelazarla con nuestra construcción convencional, pero ya estamos trabajando con ellos, revisando todas las uniones, cómo se va a realizar esto y seguramente lo vamos a lograr con éxito.
As we know, Zamaya is covering a huge array of different training categories and disciplines, and a very important one of those is going to be Reformers Pilates. So in keeping with our last episode, we're continuing to source the very best equipment in the world for the fit out of Zamaya. So with that in mind, we headed to Sacramento, California, and to the headquarters of Balance Body, the leading manufacturer of Pilates equipment in the world. There we got to meet its founder, Ken Endelman, a pioneer in the world of Pilates since its very beginnings. Hi guys, we're in Sacramento, California at the headquarters of Balance Body. These guys are the premium providers of Pilates reformers and equipment that we'd like to fit out Zamaya with. So we're going to meet the whole team here today. Hi guys, we're here with Ken Endelman, the founder of Balance Body and a pioneer and leader in the Pilates world for almost 50 years. Great to meet you, Ken.
Great to meet you.
Could you give us a bit of an idea of the history of Balance Body and how you got started?
Yes, we started about 50 years ago, and we started in Hollywood. I had a store on Melrose Avenue, and a lady came in and asked me to make a Pilates machine, but she called it an apparatus. I didn't want to do it. I put it off. Finally, she said, "When can you do it?" I said, "Well, maybe next month." And then she said, "Okay, let's do it." So she called me, and I couldn't get out of it. At that point, there was probably 10 Pilates studios in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what got me started.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Since that time when you started until now, there's obviously been a huge explosion in the popularity of Pilates. I mean, it's going to be a large part of what we're doing at Zamaya. We see it everywhere, studios popping up everywhere. Has that growth been like a linear growth that you saw, or has it really been a boom in the last, let's say, 5-10 years?
It's been really kind of a boom. I would say a couple of milestones happened. So up until about 1990, people really were afraid to use the word Pilates because there was this trademark issue.
Right.
And then there was a lawsuit in the late 90s to 2000. Once that was settled, then people could say Pilates, and then it started to really grow after that.
Right. Yeah.
And we're kind of like this, in this Pilates brand boom, It's kind of like it's got all these things going for it. I mean, we got past COVID, and now people are doubling down on your health. You've probably seen that, right? It's got, Pilates is a phenomenal brand. Everybody associates good things with it. We're getting a huge amount of PR with it.
Yep.
And then you add that on top of the fact that it just works really, really well.
So Ken, maybe could you give us a bit of an idea of what really sets apart Balance Body Reformers from any of the other equipment suppliers that are out there in terms of quality, their technical features, or anything that you think really sets it apart?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing with Balance Body and our equipment is that when you look at the fact that we've been doing this for almost 50 years, and what really sets us apart is for 50 years, we've been making this stuff, improving it, and it goes out to our clients, right? And then they beat it up, and they do sometimes stupid or moronic things, right? But that gets back to us. Or just new stuff, right? That gets back to us, and then we figure out how to keep making it better. So every little change that we make to the equipment, we know why we did that, right? And so the thinking goes behind it. It's not just a textbook experience of this bolt has to be this strong, right? I mean, that's a big part of it too. But the bigger part of it is why we do what we do, right? And we really know that. And then we've had 50 years to improve the process of how we do stuff.
I mean, 50 years is a good runway for incremental compounding improvements on a piece of equipment. So, I mean, that gives me a lot of confidence, looking to buy the equipment. And I mean, it's kind of the pinnacle brand in this space. So I think if we're trying to build the best training environment in the world, we got to have the best gear in there.
Yeah.
So Ken, could you give us a bit of an idea about the manufacturing process for Balanced Body? And is everything made here in-house in Sacramento?
Everything is made here in Sacramento. You can kind of see all this stuff. All this wood comes from the United States. You know, all the assembly process comes in. We actually start with basically the raw wood, the planks, right? Okay. And we put the frames together. We do the finishing here, all the sanding, of course, here. In this area right here, you're saying the wood frames, they come here to be staged. Then we're going to marry the frames to the carriages, and then they'll start to move down this way, and there'll be the final assembly process, then they'll drop it into the box.
Ken, it's been great to meet you. Thanks so much for the time. I'm looking forward to getting into details about the reformers. We're going to be getting down to Zamaya, and when it's ready, we'd love to have you down visit.
And I'm ready to go down there and experience it myself. It sounds like it's going to be incredible.
Awesome. Thanks, Ken.
So much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Hi guys, we're here with Joy from Balanced Body. Joy is going to give us a bit of a run through of the different reformers that we're looking at using at Zamaya.
How does that feel to you?
Really good.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, what makes
really
it feel like hard for you?
I mean, I played rugby for a long time. I have a lot of stuff wrong with me, and it feels like it's low impact.
Right.
But it feels like kind of almost healing, getting yourself into really nice positions that I'm probably not getting myself into enough.
Right.
And getting a really nice stretch in. And
right, so low impact but effective. This machine puts you in a position and asks you to move in ways that is natural out there, but maybe not natural in our modern society.
Awesome.
So it puts you in that place where healing is possible.
Great. Thanks for showing us around, Joy. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, lovely to meet you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we headed to Las Vegas and to Mr. Olympia, the annual mecca for the bodybuilding and physique fitness world. A large part of the Zamaya project will be focused on elite bodybuilding and powerlifting. So we came to meet some of the senior people from the Mr. Olympia organization and to look into a lot of the interesting things we could do together going forward. Guys, we're here in Las Vegas to go to Mr. Olympia, the premier bodybuilding event in the world. It's absolutely massive. We're going to meet some of the main guys from the organization to look into the possibility of doing a partnership with the event next year once Zamaya is open. So the first Olympia took place all the way back in 1965. It really is the pinnacle of the whole bodybuilding and physique fitness world. Athletes are coming from all around the planet to compete in their particular categories. They've all been on a really long journey of incredible dedication and discipline to get to compete on this stage. So as the resort build is advancing fast, there's also a huge amount of other elements that we need to think about in the lead up to Zamaya's opening. One of those is the sourcing of a massive list of products and materials for the fit out, finishing, and eventual operation of the resort once it's ready. So to try and cover a big chunk of that list, we headed all the way to China, the factory of the world, to attend the mind-blowing scale of the Canton Fair. Of course, this is a really long way to travel, but the Canton Fair is the world's biggest trade expo, and it's really ideal for us to source a huge amount of the product that we need for the execution of the project. Guys, we're here in Guangzhou, China to go to Canton Fair. This is the world's biggest trade expo that's been held here since 1957. Chinese manufacturers in every sector you can think of come from all around China to showcase their product here. For Chinese industry and the factory of the world, this really is its showroom. Just to give an idea of the size, there's more than 25,000 exhibitors here, spread out over more than 1 million square meters of exhibition space. That's more than 12 million square feet in the world's biggest exhibition halls. I had an idea of the scale before coming here, but really when you see it with your own eyes, it's just kind of hard to believe. So guys, we're obviously here to source and buy a huge amount of product for both the build and then the operation of Zamaya once it's ready. There's manufacturers here from every sector selling everything you could possibly imagine. It's actually really overwhelming trying to navigate your way through the place. The shopping list for Zamaya, it's huge. It includes everything from reverse osmosis and water filtration systems to staff uniforms, cool towels, hotel room safes, specialist flooring material, the list just goes on. The big advantage for us is that because of the size and scale of the Zamaya project, it's really big, we're able to buy everything on such volume that we can come directly here to the manufacturers. That helps us save a lot of money because we can bypass any middlemen or distributors that we'd have to deal with either in Mexico or the United States. So guys, to give you an idea of the volume we're doing, a really good example would be the stainless steel vacuum sealed water bottles that we have to get. We need to buy between 7,000 to 10,000 of these. The reason being that we plan to make the whole of Zamaya Fitness Resort totally free of single-use plastics. Now, that's a really big call, and it's really difficult to achieve that in a fitness resort where everyone needs to drink water and liquids all the time. So essentially what we're doing is we're going to custom brand these stainless steel bottles for everybody. And when people are checking in or when people are coming to train at Zamaya, they're given one of those. And then we have to fit out the resort with hundreds of different water distributors and coolers. Again, all of those need to be sourced here in China. So this will just give you an idea kind of the volume of all these tiny little bits that we need to get in Zamaya. In any given week, we're going to have retreats of 200, 250 people coming down at a time. We have a lot of these lined up already for when Zamaya is open. So you can start to see quickly how we're going to go through big numbers of products. So that's why it makes sense coming all the way over here to source these things. Guys, we just finished a really intense 10 days here at Canton Fair. It was a big success. We met some really good suppliers and manufacturers of stuff that we're going to need going forward in Zamaya. But it's really intense here. It's like a mental overload every day, and my brain is just fried and my feet can't walk anymore. So we're going to get out of China now and head to Bangkok and Thailand. Another major training discipline at Zamaya is going to be Muay Thai. I personally have a huge love for Muay Thai and all of the beautiful culture that surrounds it in Thailand. I've spent a lot of time in my life training Muay Thai over there, and actually a big impetus for the development of the overall Zamaya concept was to create a space where we could bring these incredible Thai trainers and fighters in order for people to have this really unique experience of training with them a little bit closer to home. So we headed to Bangkok to get some great training in, to see some Muay Thai fights, and also to meet and train with the legendary Sanchai, arguably the best Muay Thai fighter to ever do it. So we've just come to Yakao Training Center in Bangkok to get a really good session in. This is a really well-known gym in Bangkok. This is Yat Chao, Sorikap. Yat Chao was ex-WBC Muay Thai champion here in Thailand, and he's going to be putting us through the ringer here today. Guys, training with the Thais is just such an awesome and unique experience. The way they communicate with you, the energy of the training session, it's just really unique. So at Zamaya, we're planning on bringing a lot of these guys over from Thailand to Mexico to train people there, so people can have that similar awesome experience without having to travel so far from home. So that's the plan, but I can't get enough of this stuff. They're just awesome. Guys, we're here in Bangkok, Thailand with Sanchai. Swadikap, Sanchai. Sanchai is one of the best to ever do it. His career has nearly 400 fights with almost 350 wins. He's really going down as one of the legends of this sport. I'm here to train a bit with Sanchai, and we're going to be talking a little bit about seminars we're going to be doing at Zamaya as well. So it's a big honor for me to meet him. So Sanchai, before we talk about your own career, can you give us a bit of a background about Muay Thai culture, how it developed in Thailand, maybe even how it started all the way back with Muay Bairan and how that developed into the Muay Thai that we know today?
ก็คือมวยไทยก็คือเป็นศิลปะประจำชาติไทยที่กอบกู้เอกราชด้วยมือเปล่าเป็นการต่อสู้มือเปล่าไม่มีอาวุธนะครับเป็นการต่อยเตะทุกอย่างเป็นในร่างกายที่ไม่ใช้อาวุธเป็นมวยไทยที่ใช้แต่หมัดศอกเข่าแล้วก็มวยโบราณก็คือเป็นใช้การต่อสู้กับต่างชาติแล้วก็สามารถที่จะกอบกู้เอกราชชาติไทยกลับมาแล้วก็มวยไทยมาต่อยอดด้วยการสร้างรายได้แล้วก็มีชื่อเสียงแล้วก็เงินทองให้กับนักมวยที่ต่อสู้ยันทุกวันนี้ครับ
Sanchai, can you talk to us a bit about the very beginning of your career when you were a child? What age you started, when you first started going to the jockey gym in Bangkok, and maybe what age were you when you had your first professional fight, and then how was your first fight?
ผมชกมวยตั้งแต่เอกเยโอนนะครับ8 ปีอายุ8 ขวบนะครับชกตั้งแต่เด็กนะครับเริ่มสตาร์ทแล้วก็ค่อยเข้ามาอยู่ที่ค่ายจ็อกกี้ยิมนะครับผมก็ก่อนที่จะมาอยู่ค่ายจ็อกกี้ยิมก็ชกมาหลายร้อยไฟต์แล้วก็เข้ามาอยู่ที่ค่ายมวยมาตรฐานของเมืองไทยเราก็คือที่กรุงเทพนะครับแต่ก่อนผมชกอยู่ที่ต่างจังหวัดนะครับแล้วก็พัฒนาตัวเองจนเข้ามาอยู่ที่ค่ายจ็อกกี้ยิมแล้วก็เริ่มซ้อมกับนักมวยที่เก่งๆดังๆในเมืองไทยเราแล้วก็เนี่ยเท่าทุกวันนี้ผมก็เลยมีชื่อเสียงในเชิงมวยไทยในแต่ก่อนเคยอยู่ค่ายมวยจ็อกกี้ยิมแล้วก็ตอนเท่าทุกวันนี้ครับ
Sanchai, can you give us an idea of how many fights you had as a young boy before turning professional? And then what age were you before you started fighting in the big stadiums like Lumpini?
โอเคผมเริ่มชกมวยตั้งแต่อายุ8 ขวบชกมาประมาณ100 กว่าไฟต์นะครับแล้วก็เข้าสนามมวยลุมพินีนะครับแล้วก็ได้แชมป์มวยสนามมวยลุมพินีเวทีอันดับ 1ของเมืองไทยครับ
So Sanchai, eventually you became 6-time Lumpini champion and an absolute legend in the sport. Can you give us an idea of how important a Lumpini championship is for Muay Thai fighters in Thailand? Is that really the top of what you can try to achieve?
ก็คือ นักมวยทุกคนก็คืออยากจะได้แชมเปี้ยนเพราะว่าถ้าได้แชมเปี้ยนมันก็คือสร้างชื่อให้ตัวเองคนได้รู้จักคนนี้คือแชมเปี้ยนทุกอย่างมันก็จะตามมาไม่ว่าจะเป็นชื่อเสียงเงินทองทุกอย่างเขาก็จะให้เราด้วยที่แบบมูลค่าเพิ่มมากขึ้นเพราะว่าเราเป็นแชมป์ทุกคนใฝ่ฝันอยากได้แชมเปี้ยนนักมวยทุกคนอยากได้แชมเปี้ยนเพราะว่าถ้าได้แชมเปี้ยนมันทำให้ทุกคนได้รู้จักแล้วก็ได้ค่าตัวเพิ่มมากขึ้น
Sanchai, so at this point of your career, you've started to teach other people everything you know about Muay Thai, and you're especially traveling around the world to do that. How is it to go and teach other people, and how does it feel teaching foreigners all about Muay Thai?
ที่ผมไปสัมมนามาทั่วโลกนะครับทุกที่นะครับอินโดนะครับให้การตอบรับผมดีมากนะครับผมอยากจะขอบคุณตรงนี้ด้วยเพราะว่าการสอนมวยของผมการสัมมนาของผมเป็นการทำให้เขาได้เข้าใจได้ง่ายแล้วก็ทำได้ผลนะครับเวลาเอาไปชกเวลาเอาไปต่อสู้เราสามารถที่จะทำได้ผลเพราะว่าผมชกให้เขาดูตาม YouTube ก็เห็นว่าสิ่งที่ผมสอนเขาไปเนี่ยผมทำได้จริงนะครับแล้วก็เอามาสอนเขา Yes.
So Sanchai, you know, we're building Zamaya at the moment. It's going to be open next year. A big part of what we're doing at Zamaya is going to be Muay Thai, obviously. We're going to be running seminars from professional athletes and famous trainers from all around the world. So we'd love to have you there, obviously, when it's open, and we can't wait to see you there to run some seminars.
ผมก็ยินดีแล้วก็ขอบคุณนะครับที่ทางโน้นนะครับอยากให้ผมไปสอนมวยให้เขานะครับผมก็ยินดีและพร้อมที่จะไปมอบมวยไทยให้กับเขาครับซัมมายานะครับ เจอกันแน่นอนภายในปีหน้านะครับผมจะไปสอนมวยไทยให้กับพวกคุณนะครับขอบคุณที่อยากเจอผมแล้วก็ผมก็พร้อมที่จะไปเจอพวกคุณครับ See you Zamaya next year
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. I'm dead. Up again. So we're here at Rajadamnern Stadium in Bangkok. This is one of the main venues where all the top Muay Thai fighters from around Thailand and actually from around the world come here to compete. The atmosphere in these stadiums is electric, so let's go have a look. So this ritual ceremony performed by Muay Thai fighters right before their fight is a really unique and beautiful part of Muay Thai culture. It's called Wai Kru. Wai is the Thai name for the salutation when you say hello, and then Kru is the Thai word for teacher. So it's kind of a ceremony that pays respect to your coach, your gym, your training partners, and your family. Each different region of Thailand will have different forms of doing the dance, so the really well-trained eye can almost tell where somebody is from in Thailand. As well, the headband that the people wear and their armbands, they're specifically handmade for each gym and they're blessed by monks. So they're kind of like a sacred part of the whole process that is to represent safety for the fighters as well. So this whole thing is like a really unique, beautiful part of the culture of Muay Thai, and it makes it like a really special atmosphere around the fights. So after that big tour around the world, we're back in Tulum pushing everything along with the project. We'll have loads more updates to come soon, so we'll see you in the next vlog, guys.